Hello, my name is Callum Ryder, Product Manager here at Raytec, and here to talk to you today about some recent upgrades we've made to our range of bulkhead products. So what's changing? So the main change with bulkhead is that we've introduced a new light engine into the product. What that means is the product firstly looks a little bit different, so you can see the new light engine at the bottom of the screen with the old version just above it. So physically the product looks a little bit different, but crucially it allows us to introduce a range of new optics into bulkhead for the very first time. And again, we'll go through those in more detail as we go through the slides. We've also made upgrades to the PSU and the efficiency of the product, and all these component changes mean there's a few specification changes which we're bringing through as part of the upgrade. But again, we'll go through this in more detail as we go through the slides. So we'll just start by taking a look at the new range of optics which are available. We'll graphically show these in a bit more detail in the next slide, but this is just to show you the changes from the old to the new. So the new version is on the bottom there with all the angles marked in green are the new one which we're introducing into bulkhead, and on the top there is the old version with the ones highlighted in red as being the angles which are being discontinued. So there are some angles which were no longer being supported for the new version, but crucially we've got a host of new optics which we feel are better suited to the bulkhead range and the typical application of which a bulkhead product would be used for. Similar story on the Zone 1 version of the product. There's a couple of additional beam angles from the old version which aren't being carried forward, but crucially all these new beam angles are being introduced are available across Zone 1, Zone 2 and Industrial. So this is to look at those angles in a bit more detail. So these are the symmetrical or mainly circular angles. So we've got the diffuse optic for the very first time. That's a new option for bulkhead which we didn't have on the existing version. And then also just to mention the 140-140, which we feel will become sort of the go-to optic for the majority of bulkhead applications. And this will be the optic which is used in conjunction with the exit sign for any products which have the exit sign fitted to the front of the product. So that was the symmetrical, and this is now the asymmetric beam angles, so 80 by 30, 120 by 50 angles, but also some more specialist optics as well. So PP2 and PP3, traditional for pathway and perimeter applications, but are used for a wide range of other applications as well, and also wide beam and area as well. So a good option to have for bulkhead applications. And this image just demonstrates that. So we can see on the far right hand side is using the existing bulkhead light engine using the 120 by 50 optic. We can see there's very little light going down towards the ground, or where bulkheads might be traditionally installed above a doorway, there's very little light going down in front of the doorway. If you compare that to the two on the center and on the left hand side, which is using the new optics, so the AR1 and the 140 by 140, and we can see there that there's far more light going down and illuminating the exit way, which may be below where the bulkhead is installed. So a much better option for bulkhead applications. Improved efficacy. So like I mentioned, we're introducing a new PSU to the range for the first time. So this is the SPARTAN Universal PSU, which we use on other products as well. Introduction of this PSU means we can make some real gains in efficacy for the product. So on Zone 1, the old version, we used 20 watts and delivered 2,500 lumens, but we're now delivering a similar figure, but using only 15 watts of consumption. That's a similar story for high output versions. Old version was using 34 watts and delivering 4,250 lumens. We're generating a similar lumen output on the new version, but crucially we're down to only 26 watts for that output. So we're going in total on Zone 1 versions from 125 lumens per watt up to 152 lumens per watt. So a big gain there. Similar story on Zone 2 as well. So we make those similar savings, also used on industrial products as well, which means we're going from 137 lumens per watt to 159 lumens per watt. So overall, across Zone 1 and Zone 2, these are sort of industry-leading figures, which put bulkhead at the very leading edge of the similar products. A quick look at some of the logistics now as well. So in terms of the products which are affected, this affects all Zone 1, Zone 2 and industrial products, so using the SPX, SPZ and SPI codes. That includes the high output variants. It also includes the BL24 floods, the bulkhead product which is fitted with a stirrup bracket for use in flood applications. But crucially, the The changes are excluded from Class 1 Div 2 variants, so they'll continue to use the existing light engine, and also infrared versions of the product will continue to use the old light engine as well. Quick touch on part codes. So we want to try and keep the part codes the same wherever possible. So part codes will remain the same for any beam angles which are being used or were common between the old version and the new version. So for example, if you're using a bulkhead with a 120 by 50 optic, that will remain the same code. For new beam angles, so for example a 140 by 140 optic, we'll introduce the new part codes for those. So you'll have, as an example, for a zone 1 version of bulkhead, SBX BL24-W-140-140. And we've also made the decision to keep pricing the same, so there's no changing on pricing from the existing versions of bulkhead to the new ones. And crucially as well, the new optics which we're introducing are all available at the same cost. There's no increase or uplift for having a more specialist optic which we're introducing here, so that's a good little benefit for end users. In terms of the timeline, so all products that have been shipped from Raytec since the 15th of May have all been incorporated in the new design. So if you've received any products since that date, you'll have received the new light engine. If you're placing orders with Raytec, and you'll be informed of this change, you'll have a copy of the product change notification attached to the confirmation of your order. So you'll receive that just to notify you of what the change is and what's been affected. And just to touch on backward compatibility or spare parts. So good thing about the new light engine is it's backward compatible with all our existing versions of bulkhead. Obviously the appearance will be slightly different, and we have different beam angles, but you can still install physically install the light engine into an existing product which was originally fitted with the Gen 1 version of the light engine. And we will continue to support spares of the old light engine as well. So if you have an installation with the existing bulkhead products and you want the physical appearance to look the same, both in terms of the way the product looks and the distribution of light output, then we can still supply that existing version of the light engine. Just now to touch on websites and data sheets and product literature, that sort of thing. So website's now been updated. The Raytec website's now been updated with all the new product information for bulkheads. That's across the Zone 1, Zone 2 and Industrial, as well as bulkhead and the BL24 floods. You'll find all the updates and new data sheets available on the website. We've also made updates to the price list as well to reflect the changes in the part codes. So if you haven't had those already, please request those through your account manager. And that quickly goes through all the changes for bulkhead. Obviously, we haven't got an opportunity to do questions on this recorded version, but if you do have questions, please get in contact with me or through your account manager. I'll be happy to try and answer those for you. Thanks very much. Bye bye.